Caitlin Clark, the standout player for the Indiana Fever, was highly anticipated before the WNBA draft. After being selected as the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft by the Fever, Clark promptly displayed her skills on the court. Despite the Fever's early struggles, she continued to deliver dominant performances in the league. However, Clark also became a target for her opponents, a matter recently addressed by none other than NBA analyst Shannon Sharpe. In a recent appearance on the Nightcap podcast, former American football tight end Shannon Sharpe claps back at Caitlin Clark's haters by claiming her to be a double-edged sword. She bustin' y'all. Caitlin Clark doing the thing on them. She's sharp on both sides, cutting left and right. Don't be resentful of it, embrace it. Clark delivered a commanding performance in the 100-93 win against the Dallas Wings recently. The 22-year-old rookie scored 28 points, made 12 assists, and secured 4 rebounds in her 37 minutes of play. During the discussion with Chad Johnson, Sharpe presented an intriguing statistic about this WNBA season, noting that Caitlin Clark has been the target of 17% of flagrant fouls, with the Chicago Sky responsible for 80% of those fouls.
Another day, another non-basketball play on Caitlin Clark. 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season have been committed against Caitlin Clark. The Chicago Sky were responsible for 80% of the flagrant fouls committed against Clark. But you know what, Ocho? You just want to support that white girl. She busted y'all ass. Hey, y'all had a lot to say. Y'all even tagged me. Why y'all tagging me? If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. If you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say. Caitlin Clark doing the thing on them, Ocho. Ha, 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 ha.
She out there cutting up now.
I thought they would know. Ooh, she's sharp on both sides. Cutting ass left and right.
Yeah, she playing good ball now.
Good. I hate to see if she playing great. She's a good player, Ocho. Look, people giving her credit, and I get it. Don't be resentful of it. Embrace it.
The popularity of women's basketball has recently increased significantly, largely due to the success of WNBA player Caitlin Clark. However, some players in the league have shown hostility towards her because of her exceptional abilities and interactions with fans. Shannon Sharpe had high praise for Clark on First Take. During an appearance on the show, Sharpe talked about Clark's impact on the sport's popularity and the discourse surrounding her. Sharpe compared Clark's hype coming into the WNBA to LeBron James' arrival to the NBA in 2003.
Yeah, what Molly was trying to say is that, Shannon, look, we understand that Caitlin Clark is good, but what about the women that laid the foundation? When Michael Jordan, wasn't nobody talking about Connie Hawkins. Nobody was talking about Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody was doing that. That's what we've always done. We talked about the player that's currently playing. That's not to say that there were women that built the league, the Cheryl Swoops, the Cynthia Cooper, the Lisa Leslie, the Pinochet, that we're not trying to dismiss them, but as far as box office, tell me the lady that came in with this. She's basically the LeBron James. The kind of hype that LeBron came into the NBA with, Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA with the same type of hype. And she's backed it up.
LeBron was already a known figure in the sports world long before setting foot in the NBA. After gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated in February 2002 as a high school standout from St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio, LeBron garnered national attention and expectations as the next big thing in basketball. And boy did he deliver. In his rookie season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, despite the spotlight being squarely on him, LeBron averaged 20.9 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game, earning Rookie of the Year honors and establishing himself as a phenom on the rise. Fast forward nearly 2 decades, and Caitlin is experiencing a similar journey in her first year playing professional basketball. Although numerous outstanding women players have paved the way, there hasn't been anyone like the Des Moines, Iowa guard. The show's co-host, Stephen A. Smith, agreed with Shannon's sentiments and added that Caitlin's recent performances will undoubtedly win her the Rookie of the Year award when the season ends. Although Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese has been superb, especially on the glass, Clark has been on a hot streak, averaging 23.1 points, 10.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds in her last 16 contests. More importantly, her fantastic play has pushed the Fever over the 500 mark for the first time in 5 years.
The race for Rookie of the Year is over. After what they did to the Sky, after they won their 4th straight, after they're over 500, they were just 500 the other day for the first time in 2 years when they were 2-2. They doing their thing. And Caitlin Clark, last 12 games, 23.4 points or 47% shooting, second leading scorer in the entire WNBA behind the monster that is Asia Wilson, who's going to be league MVP and deserves it, by the way. The reigning 2-time champion, who probably is going to three-peat in my estimation. She is just something special. Best player in the world as far as I'm concerned, okay? We got that going on. 10.6 assists for Caitlin Clark. Leads the league. She's the league assist leader, okay? 9-3 since July 6th, third best record in the WNBA over this time behind Minnesota and the New York Liberty. And I already added that they won 4 straight. And they're in the 6th seed, just 2.5 games out of the 5th seed. Caitlin Clark has been flat out balling, and she has elevated her level of play to a point. There is no debate.
Shannon Sharpe does make some valid points about Caitlin Clark's popularity in the league. Clark made a name for herself during her time at Iowa State. The mercurial college star set the record for the most points in NCAA women's basketball history, breaking WNBA star Kelsey Plum's record. Since then, she was the consensus first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. Getting drafted by the Indiana Fever, she has had an awesome run in the league so far, dominating the league both as a scorer and a provider. Many consider her the favorite for the Rookie of the Year award over her rival Angel Reese. Clark's rivalry with Angel Reese has garnered the most interest in the WNBA, and most recently, her final rematch with Reese became the most expensive game in WNBA history, with an average ticket price of $334. Caitlin Clark is having an incredible season so far. She's averaging 19.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.8 blocks for the season. In fact, when compared to Angel Reese, she leads in 10 of the 11 major categories, making her the favorite to win the Rookie of the Year. Clark has been the standout from her rookie class this year. While Angel Reese has had a good year statistically, there is no comparison between the two. Clark has been able to help the Fever make a playoff push in the late stage of the season, something the franchise has not been able to do in the last few years. While there were whispers regarding Caitlin's ability to transition to the WNBA, where the competition is much more brutal, she has silenced her doubters with one impressive performance after another. Sports analysts generally either love or hate Clark with no in-between, and as her star continues to rise, it seems like the negative voices have been drowning out everyone else lately. But after Clark's latest performance, in which she totaled 28 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds in a 193 win over the Dallas Wings, Shannon Sharpe couldn't stay silent any longer. Sharpe called out all of Clark's naysayers on a recent episode of his Nightcap podcast, unashamedly putting a whole slew of journalists on blast.
There's a lot of women that was on ESPN that had a lot to say earlier about this. They gone quiet now.
You say they quiet?
Y'all quiet now. Now, I want somebody to send that to you, because you know who I'm talking about. I ain't going to call your name, but you know who you are. Y'all had a lot to say early. Y'all had a lot to say early. And if you think I'm talking to you, I am. Make no mistake about it. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. One of you was a former coach. I get a little bit more specific. Some of you played the game. Now, I want y'all to have that same thing when y'all were talking. Don't get mad now.
While Sharpe didn't name any names specifically, one has to figure there are a handful of people he was referring to, including Cheryl Swoops, Monica McNutt, Andrea Carter, and Tim Legler. All four either host shows on or have done guest spots on ESPN and taken an anti-Clark stance at one point or another over the last few months. Swoops has been Clark's biggest critic as of late, and she was even removed from Sunday's Fever Wings broadcast after she received a ton of backlash on social media for her apparent resentment toward Clark. Clark is helping build a massive fan base, not just for herself, but for the entire WNBA right now. She may end up having a massive impact on the fan base and the popularity of the league when all is said and done. But for Clark, her career goal will remain the same: walk away as the greatest to ever do it in her field. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing WNBA content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.